Hello and welcome to this video about the SponGIS, the resource that we are developing as part of the SponGIS project. It's going to collate information about SponGIS from around the world. It's going to take in mapping data, physical data, as well as species occurrences and some species profile data. I've developed a website and a database backend that we will start to populate as we get information, and you can see the website here with an example of the mapping system that we've developed. Now, the most important element of this video that I want to get across is what can you do? Okay, because SponGIS isn't going to work unless we are having regular input of data from project partners within the SponGIS project. The most important page for us to look at here is contribute data. This is what's going to make this a success. I've developed a data template, and I'm going to show you in some subsequent videos how you can fill those in yourselves rather than sending us information. And it may also help people start to think about how they're storing data and how you're archiving it yourself in order to make it a more seamless process for transition. I'll also take you through some data standards that we've covered as part of workshops such as those run by OBIS. So, you have data. You want to send it to SponGIS, and we will then develop submission to OBIS and other resources as needed. The first question many people have is, can data be made freely available? If it can, then we will just go straight through the publishing process. If not, then we can embargo data and lock it down until you're ready to release it. So, we have a SponGIS template, and I'll take you through that in a few short moments, but that's also in more detail in subsequent videos. But essentially, you will complete the template, we will check it, if we have any questions we'll send it back, and we'll develop this cycle of making sure that we get coherent data coming through. Once we've got your data into the correct format, everything's been checked and quality controlled, we'll then archive it on the SponGIS Integrated Publishing Toolkit, which has been written by GBIF. It's also used by OBIS as well. Essentially, in this system, we would have rows, a line of each data set within the IPT. We would be able to then have some version control. We'll be able to release the data immediately through this. We'll be able to submit it to OBIS through the IPT. It's a great facility for archiving our information. What it doesn't do is integrate the information. So we'll be doing that as part of SponGIS with our own custom database and utilising the information that we're collecting within that database system. And that will develop over the next several years. We have a GitHub page which contains our spreadsheet template that you can download. And we're continually evolving this, so we would update it as needed, add new tools to it, and so on. Soon, we will also have an R code-based data validation system that will be able to generate a report that goes with your dataset. And you could run this yourself, and it's more likely that we'll be running it just to double check everything in the data system that the template that you've submitted is absolutely perfect. The database that we've got is constructed of several different tables, and that's covered in the database schema section here. So we have a metadata table, which is all about your dataset, what it is, who collected it, who described it, where it came from. We then have an event. Events essentially are a sampling task, whether it was a cruise, whether it was a box core, whether it was a subcore within that box core. That's linked through to occurrences, species occurrences, and also measurement or fact, where each sampling event could have a species occurrence, but it could also have a measurement in terms of the abundance of a species, or the biomass, or temperature or salinity. So we can have multiple observations per event. We also have a taxon table that we'd use to construct some simple species profiles that would allow us to illustrate what sponge species we have in our database. This is essentially the SponGIS. The only way it's going to be a success is if everybody in the project submits data to us and we can handle this and get it all together. It will help us fulfill our project requirements in open data, but it will also serve to be a very strong product that comes out of the entire program that will really show how important deep sea sponges are in terms of the whole world. And that freedom of information is very, very important. So thank you very much for listening, and again, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop us an email. Martin or I would be very happy to link up and talk to you about your data requirements.